Hello there, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe for more videos like this. I'm Leanne, I'm a Pilates and yoga teacher, online coach and personal trainer. Today I'm going to take you through a class designed to strengthen full back muscles, all of them, posterior shoulder strength, lots of mobilizing and flexibility in the spine, and we'll be working on fluidity, reducing the stiffness, and of course we're working the opposing muscle group to the back, which is the core. Remember to only go to your own range of movement. This is your starting point. Don't push it if you've not done these exercises before. There's always an adaptation. If it doesn't feel right, come out and just go into a nice gentle cat-cow. Remember not to exercise with any pain present. Let's get started on the mat. We'll start in a cat-cow position. Spine to ceiling on an exhale. Inhale in the cow. Taking your time if you're feeling stiff at first. Bracing the abs in the cat. Good. And then we're going to go a figure of 8. I'm going to draw that with our body. And leaning into any stiffness around the hip area, coming all the way down. Big 8. Don't come over the wrist too much if that feels quite uncomfortable. It does for me as well, so I'm not placing loads of weight. Anything feels stiff, lean into that stiffness, that tightness. And it'll begin to loosen off a little bit as the body warms. Good. We're going to take our left hand, place it next to our ear, and rotate towards the other elbow and out, a bit like a thread the needle, but you're not coming all the way down. It's like a gentle stretch. Bracing the core, stretching either side, taking your time. Going for 6 all together, another 2. Good, over to the other side. Another 6. Keeping the rib cage tucked in, belly button into spine, so you've got the abs braced. Can you feel the lower parts of the abs engaged right now below the belly button? Because you should be able to. If not, you need to strengthen that area. One more. Good. Then we're going to go into thread the needle. Exhale as you thread the needle. Inhale, coming all the way around, pushing around as far as you can. You begin to mobilize. You can push a little bit further around as you begin to warm up. Keeping that core engaged. Going for 12. Really good for opening the chest, good for rounded shoulders. Think about moving the shoulder blade in as you rotate round. One more. Good. Over to the other side. Again, start off slow until you mobilize. Another 8. Another 3. 2. Good. Back over to cat-cow. See if there's any change in how the spine feels. Might be very subtle. And the fluidity. Good. From here, one of the best exercises to strengthen the full back muscles that stabilise and keep the spine nice and strong is a bird dog. So we're going to extend the leg and the arm opposites. We're going to start pulsing for 10. As high up as you can with straight arm, straight leg. Core's engaged. You've got a neutral spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then release. Over to the other side. For 12. How does this side feel? Working on balance and stability. The full body. Posterior shoulder as well. 5, 4. Release. I'm going to go into child's pose. Exhale. Okay, feel free to grab a drink. Warm up completed. Let's go into the main session. Meaning harder exercise, more volume, more reps, more holds. Deep breaths. So starting off with bird dog again. Opposite arm to opposite leg. I'm going to move side to side with the arm and leg, tipping you off balance a little bit, but your hips and the rest of your body are staying as still as possible. It's called limb disassociation. It's good for control and stability. Less likely to fall over. Another 5, 4, 2, 1, and then hold in the front position like before, typical bird dog. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pulse for 10, 2. So when you're pulsing, you're looking for a warmth in the lower hip above it. Squeezing the glute, getting that shoulder right up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Well done. So you're likely started to feel that on the opposite there, the stabilising leg as well, as we're working the gluteus medius, which is a stabilising muscle for the hip. Over to the other side. If you're feeling this on your wrist, come a little bit further forward, or you can go onto fists, or you can come out every few seconds until you strengthen up. So out and in, as many as you can, or 12. Try not to move, just your arm and leg are moving. Deep breaths. Excellent. 3, 2, 1. Okay, and pulse. 1, 3, 2, 1, and hold for 5, 2, 1. Good, well done. Release into child's pose. Well done. Really good for the piriformis and strengthening it. If you felt anything in your back. I'm going to do those 3 on one side once more for round 2. So in and out for 12 or as many as you can. You can stop and start as much as you need to. You might not be able to get your leg all the way up, that's fine, in your arm. Search for that warmth. 5, 4, 2, 1, and pulse. 1, 4. Deep breaths. 2, 1, and hold. Core engaged. Make sure you're not dumping in that hip. 3, 2, 1. Release. Over to the other side. Out and in for 12. Shoulders down away from ears. One, 2, and pulse. 3, 2, 1, and hold. Notice where you're feeling this warmth, this burning. 2, 1, release. In child's pose, well done. Good. Next, we're going to come into tabletop position. So there is quite a lot on the wrists. So just come in and out of it as much as you need to. You are strengthening and working on the flexibility of your wrists as well. So remember that. So legs going to come up into a bend, heel to sky. We're just going to hold that position, squeezing the bum cheek that you've got the leg up. Squeeze it as hard as you can, bring in some warmth. It might be shaking, it might be cramping. You're working your hamstring as well. Engage the core, deep breaths. 2, 1, and then pulse up. 1, 2, a little bit higher. 3, 4. Good. 6, 7. 1, 2. Good. And then hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I'm going to hold that up so you can rest at any time. I'm going to come all the way around to the back and touch your foot and back down again, up and over. This is excellent for balance, stability, strength, flexibility. Opens up the front of the body. You can really feel a lot of muscles engage here. So come in and out of this as much as you need to. Balance and coordination are worked as well. Looking for low reps, about 8. 1 more. Good, and because we've worked the glutes, child's pose, but nice and wide on the knees, feet together. Good. Notice where you feel that stretch. Deep breath. Excellent. Over to the other side. Hold that position, cores engaged, distribute your weight over the left and the right, squeeze that bum cheek, that's risen. Good, squeeze as hard as you can, deep breaths, clench. Let's bring in a pulse, 1, 2, going for 12. 10, another 2, and hold, and you're going to come round into Pilates, flares and in and round for 8. You really feel the hip flexor in the front of the leg, upper thigh stretching out. Again, another good one for rounded shoulders. 2 more. Feels like a good stretch. 1 more. A bit like a cobra. Excellent. Wide knees, child's pose. Feel free to grab a drink. I'm going to go a bit more challenging this time. If it's too difficult, feel free to go into the bird dog or anything that you're more comfortable with whilst we're doing this. Totally up to you, or if you're just not feeling it today, I'm going to go into some stretches. So this time, I'm going to draw big circles anti-clockwise with the knee. Getting up as high as you can. You can really feel that deep in the hip joint, the ball and socket. Is there any crunching, noises, clicking? Looking for 8. With a 4. As high up as you can. Excellent. 1 more. And then hold and pulse for 8. 1, 2, 6. And release. And then this leg, we're going to come around the back like a flare. We're going to hold on to the foot and push the leg away, opening and bringing the knee up higher. Big stretch in the hip flexor and lower core. Deep breath. And release. Well done. Okay, over to the other side. Big circles with the knee. How's this side feel? Everyone's got a weaker side usually. Another 3, 2, 1, and pulse. 1, 4. When you finish your last pulse, over to the Pilates flares, pushing, holding, the position, pushing away for 1 big deep breath. Good, nice and wide for child's pose. Let's go a little bit wider with the knees and work on flexibility of the hips, as wide as you can, and then come down. Being okay with that inner groin stretch. Getting used to that discomfort and how it feels will help identify if anything feels a bit off. It's that education to your body. I'm going to do that again. Again, just to remind you, you can come a bit further forward on the wrist if you're starting to feel it. But because we're using we're doing donkey kick. Sorry, what are we doing? Big circles. You can go onto your knees and elbows. Elbows. Looking for 8. And you finish the last rep. Pulse. 1, 6. Core engaged. You can really feel your core getting involved. When you finish the last rep, over to flares. Pushing the foot away. Try and get the knee up a little bit higher. 1 deep breath in. Good. A lot harder to balance that time. Over to the other side. 8 big circles. Another 3. And you finish your last rep. Pulse. 1, 6. And you finished your last rep into the flare. 1 big deep breath. Excellent. Even wider now if you can. The child's pose. Excellent. Feel free to grab that drink again. I'm going to be going on to the front next for back isolation work. If you don't feel comfortable with this, again, you can go back into bird dog. Totally up to you. So working the posterior chain, back to the shoulders, strength. Great for rounded shoulders, posture, these ones. Dorsal raise. You can keep your feet on the mat, or if you want to add more weight to your glutes and tone them, and to your lower back, bring your feet off as well in your knees. Exhale, coming off, inhale, back down the mat. This works well with high reps. So as many as you can, or 25. If you've not done these before, or for a while, make sure you leave some in the tank and see how you are tomorrow. You can always up it next time. You'll start to feel a warmth in the lower back above the hips area and in the middle of the back. Take note of where you feel any pinching or burning or fatigue. These are your weaknesses. Another 5, 4, 3. Really squeeze that P in between your shoulder blades. Good. Rest, or you can hold on to your feet and push yourself up off the floor. Knees off the floor, deep breaths, digging your hips into the ground. Good. And then we're going to shift back into child's pose for fluidity and reducing stiffness. Bum, knees together, bum on your heels. And you can feel that tension melt away. So the first exercise was giving a back bend with strength. This is giving a counter pause back bend. And then we're going to go into another back bend, the opposite way, to puppy pose. So your thighs are up, right? Hips up. You want to bring your arms out onto your fingertips if you want more of a stretch, or hands flat and forehead to mat. This is really good for those rounded shoulders again. And just feel the base of your back and a little bit higher, the stretch. Exhale, allow your back to curve the opposite way. You're getting really high up here. Breathe through it. It's really deep in the shoulder joint as well. Good, well done. Moving back down into, so you can go into dorsal raises again, or you can make it a little bit harder this time. And arms out to the side, adding more weight to the back, and think about the shoulder blades and squeezing that P, moving them together. Again, high reps. So all these back muscles help you walk every day, move about. So they're endurance muscles, so we're getting high reps and toning, strengthening. Concentrate on where that's burning. Is it one side more than the other? For the 10, 9, 5, 4, 1. Good. This time, I'm going to come in to a Sphinx position. So now we're nice and warm in this position. Elbows directly under shoulders, shoulders down away from ears. Pushing your hips and your belly into the floor, allow yourself to curve in that lower back, and you'll feel a stretch deep in the base of your back. And we're going to come down again and shift back into child's pose, knees together. For fluidity and reducing that stiffness, feel that tension melt away. So we're quite quickly moving from each position, getting our bodies retrained to be able to do this with fluidity and smoothness. Into the puppy pose. So it's harder on your fingertips. Allow that curve in your back. Allow your shoulders to go back. Well done. Making your way back down. Floor angels, one of my favourite, but they're also really hard. I'm going to go a maximum of 10. This is all, like a lot of it's on the posterior shoulder. So first movement, push them shoulders right back. Floor is lava with your hands, squeeze up. So the higher you get your hands off the floor, the better. It's like a big circle that you're painting with your hand, like a snow angel. Another 5 if you can, or you can be doing them dorsal raises instead, or you can go into cobra or sphinx. One more. Feel that burn. Well done. Into sphinx. Deep breaths. Allow that feeling in the base of your back. So now you can fix your posture. Any rounded shoulders or lower back curves more pronounced, or less curves in the back. It can all be fixed. Unless it's spinal, like actual bone. But if it's the muscles that are pulling on the bone, which happens with degeneration and poor posture, motherhood, etc., it can all be fixed. We need to check in with your spine throughout the day. Let's go into seal, if you're able to. Extend the arms, squeeze the bum cheeks to protect that lower back. So it's a good idea to put reminders on your phone to sit up straight, check in with the posture, over your pelvis properly. Coming down carefully, take your time. Shifting back, knees together, child's pose. Two big deep breaths. Remember, the breath is the first thing to relax and balance the nervous system and de-stress you. Into puppy pose. Inhale as you're coming onto your fingertips. Exhale as you move down. I'll hopefully start to feel a little bit more fluid and easier. Excellent. Last exercise, singling out the muscles next to the spine, is swan, coming right back with the arms and pulsing up and down with the upper body. Really pin them shoulder blades back, all the way up, all the way down. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Into Sphinx. I don't know about you, but that in my base of my back's much nicer now. Squeezing the bum cheeks if you want to protect the lower back if you're not sure. Deep breaths tricks your nervous system into thinking you're fine, you're not running from a bear or anything. Calms you down. These positions are particularly good if you've got a desk job and you're bent in the lower back most of the day. Extend into seal if that feels okay. Squeezing the bum cheeks, clenching them, keeping them squeezed. This is untucking the pelvis from the position that it might have been in most of the day. Carefully come down. Take your time into child's pose. Two big deep breaths. Walking the hands out into puppy pose. I've no idea how yoga instructors get the chest on the floor. Excellent, well done. Okay, now we're all nice and warm and fluid. We're going to see where we are with the dragon this week and how that feels. So no pressure. So remember, instead of doing a dragon, you can come into a low lunge. Really good for stretching out the hip flexors and hamstrings and glutes, which pretty much everybody gets tight there. So it's a good one to get better at. So we're going to come into the downward dog. Remember, untuck your pelvis and point your hips up to the sky so you get that high hamstring stretch just underneath the glute. That's how you know you're doing it right. Untuck that pelvis. It's a very subtle change in the position. Left leg comes up and over, knee back, big stretch. Let's see if you can do it in one movement where your left hand is. I never used to be able to. That's a recent thing that I've been able to do. Deep breath, settle in. You might want to bring in a little bit of movement left and right. So the goal is to come onto your elbows. However, the back leg, it depends on how straight you get that back leg. Less bend in the knee, the better. Deep breath, we're just settling in. Keep correcting that back leg, pushing it back. Moving left and right, getting to know what feels like what, where your stiffness is, any tight areas. Rocking left and right. Straighten again that back leg if it feels like there's more space there. You should be letting go with every deep breath. Every exhale, trying to push it a little bit further. You're nice and warm now. Remember, it's not painful, just a bit of discomfort, like a normal stretch. If it's painful or pins and needles, you've gone a little bit too far. Straighten that back leg a little bit more. If you're able to, you can come onto your elbows. And if you get onto your elbows, it's a nice stretch in your lats, in like the mid area of the back. You can rock left and right. Trying to straighten that back leg a little bit more. You're kind of doing the splits, you're on the way there. But we're trying to create space within the pelvis, helping with stiffness and back pain. Good. Take your time coming out into a half split. Some more bend at the back leg. Hips get sent back first. Doesn't really matter about the knee, but hips back for that high hamstring stretch. Inhale out, hips back, exhale in. It's quite intense, especially if you're tight. Big breaths. Remember, you're not bending at the spine. It's all in the hips. One more big deep breath in. Good. I'm going to shimmy that leg over into pigeon. We've done a bit of glute work there. So you should be in the middle of the mat. Try not let your glute pull you out of the center. If it is, you just need more of a bend in that leg. And if you feel you're able to, you can come onto your elbows. Good. Next, I'm going to come back into downward dog. Have a paddle out in the heels, hips up to sky. How's it feel? It can be quite subtle, the difference, but you should feel like more stretched and there's more space within the hip area. Opposite leg, or the right leg if you did the same as me, comes back and over to the right hand. Settle in. Usually everybody's got a tighter side. Keep trying to get that back leg more straight, left and right. Just getting used to it. The first time I did this, I hated it. I thought it was so hard. So just take a moment and appreciate yourself getting into this and how it feels today. And if you do feel like you've come on, you should be proud of yourself. Deep breaths, trying to straighten that leg a bit more. Rocking side to side, looking for that stiffness. Back leg check, can it get a bit straighter? Try not to push you back. And if you're able to, you can come onto the elbows. Again, rocking left and right. Good. Two more big deep breaths. So this is quite intense. Good. Moving over into half split. Take your time. Bending more at the back leg. Hips back first. Exhale. Inhale out. Searching for that stretch. Taking your time, but if you're able to, push a little bit further each time, increasing flexibility. Toes up to sky to protect the hamstring and calf. One more. And then working our way over into pigeon. See how it feels on this side. Making sure you're in the middle. Try and relax the muscles around the pelvis. So relax your glutes, relax your hamstrings, your quad. And if you can, come onto elbows. Every exhale, sink and let go. Good. Back into downward dog. Have a paddle out. How's that feel? Does it feel more loose? The more you tune into the differences, the more you'll appreciate and notice these differences. Excellent, well done. Whew. Time's run away with me, not like me, but anyway. So I want to smash out abs. So I did, because if we want to work the back and relieve back pain, we need strong core. So we're going to start nice and easy, hips off the floor. Or if you can't get the hips off the floor yet, so it's like a mini reverse crunch, the hip dips. Keep practicing, trying to get the hips off the floor. You are still using the muscles to strengthen and do that. So don't give up, and eventually you'll be able to get them off a little bit, and then you'll be able to increase. So another 10, 8, 7, 6, good, 5. Notice the burn below the core. 2, 1. Keeping the legs up. I'm going to try and touch the toes for another 10. 4. Strengthening the neck as well, leading with the chest. 6, another 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Relaxation breath. Inhale. Arms rise. And a slow exhale. Inhale in. Expanding the rib cage. Filling the lungs completely. Pause at the top with those full lungs. The slower that you exhale, the more calming and relaxing it is for bed. One more. Nice and relaxed. Let's stretch out again. Hips off the floor. Another 20, round 2. Just trying to come up and down one vertebrae at a time in the lower part of the back. Your lumbar. 10, 9, 5, 4, 3, let it burn, it's working. 2, 1, good. An additional 10 if you can, touching the toes or as far up as you can go. 3, 4, 5, trying to keep your legs as straight as you can. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, well done. Oh, that hurt. Inhale, arms rise. One more. Good, into single leg stretch for Pilates one. So curling up, knee to, nose to knee, coming back down again and up as you swap over. Keeping that back curve flat against the floor. As many as you can, or 20. 8. Exhale, coming up. 10. 9, 7, 5, 3, 2, 1. Good. From here, legs in a bent tabletop position, coming over window wipers. Knee, hip off the floor. So keep your legs bent to make it easier. Straighten them towards the floor to make it hard and add more weight to the lower core. Good. If you're wanting to build muscle and strength and tone, you need plenty of protein, at least 100 grams. Adult female towards 140 plus. Another 4, 3. Enjoy that spine twist. One more. Good, well done. Inhale, arms rise. I'm going to do that once more. Single leg stretch for 20, and then we'll stretch off. 5. 8. A nice lower back stretch this as well. As long as your back stays flat on the floor. 10. 9. Strengthening your neck as well if you're feeling it there. 4. 3, 2, 1. Well done. Window wipers. Looking for 10. And then your last rep, you'll just stay in over to one side for spinal twist. 4, 3, 2. Well done. Last one. Leave it over to one side, your knees. Pushing both shoulders into the floor. The spine twist. Really stretching out your lats and your lower back. Such a good stretch. And you really feel the pull when you first thing in the morning when you're not warmed up like this. So it's quite enjoyable when you are. Extend that leg at the top. If you want to increase the stretch, try and relax the muscles. Notice where you're feeling on this side. These are your tightnesses. Pushing both shoulder blades on the mat. Exhale, pushing the belly out. It'll push you out of the stretch. But then the next exhale, sink further and enjoy going a little bit deeper. Bending both knees, moving over to the other side, shifting your hips over and then your knees over. Both shoulder blades on the mat. And you can extend that leg if that feels good. Opens the chest nicely as well. Again, allow yourself to feel that stretch in these areas in your back. As long as it's not spasming or anything, if it is, come out of the stretch slightly. Inhale, pushing the belly out, relaxes the pelvic floor. Then the next exhale, holding the abs and the pelvic floor. Excellent. Coming over and taking your time into the seated position. Could have stayed in that side all night. To practice some relaxation breath work for bed. Balancing the nervous system and brain. Getting you ready for bedtime. So in your seated position, shoulders down away from ears, chest proud. Stacking the vertebrae like books. Practicing good posture, elbows back as well, chest proud. Inhale through the nose and a slower exhale through the mouth. As you inhale, the belly rises along with the rib cage and then chest. And on the exhale, the chest falls and the ribs and the belly deflates. In that order, in those 3 stages. It's yogic breath work. It's very calming. It helps with rumination, like overthinking, because you're concentrating on your breath and how to do it, and nothing else. Inhale for 3, pause for 2, exhale for 4, pause for 2. Your own count. Namaste, thank you for coming tonight and I hope you sleep well.